Good evening and welcome to Dungeon Crawling, Curse of Strahd, one shot. I am your Dungeon Master Mondo, and with me this evening we only have two of us tonight, which is one of the reasons we're doing a one shot. I was hoping for three of us, but that's okay. It's all gonna be okay. We've got Cleve,
What up, everybody?
and we've got Edie. How you guys doing? I mean, I know personally because I've been talking to you for the past little bit, but the people at home may want to know how you're doing.
I'm
Get
good.
balling hard, living large, all day, every day.
There you go.
That's how I do it.
Oh man, so we're doing a one shot because it's just the three of us tonight. Um, we got off to a late start because of some Discord problems, and then I used the Discord problems to finalize some stuff, and then I realized there was other stuff I didn't finalize because life is busy. Things happen. But we're here now, and we're gonna do this thing. It is based on an old second edition Ravenloft module. Have you guys ever played any of the second edition Ravenloft modules?
I
No.
briefly, I don't think I did any modules, but I briefly ran a second edition Ravenloft camp.
Okay, so hopefully this will all be new-ish at least to you. I've updated some stuff for the fifth edition because that's the edition we're playing. That's the edition. And what else? I have words to say. It's a mystery kind of thing. There's a mystery to solve. That's the word I was looking for. It's
Mm.
mysterious. It's very Scooby Doo. I would actually like to adapt this to be a little more humorous and run like a Scooby Doo campaign. And this would definitely be one of the things in the Scooby Doo campaign.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. It's Old Man Withers from the amusement park.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you kids in that damn Zuga.
Zoinks!
Jinkies. All right, so I had you guys make these second level characters for the one shot, and so we've only got two of them. We'll have to see how long they survive. Maybe some NPCs will have to come around and help a little bit here and there. Um,
Probably.
but let's start with you, Cleve. Tell us a little bit about your dude.
All right, so tonight I will be playing Zuga, who is a half-orc barbarian who was once upon a time sort of the war chief of his tribe, very feared, very respected, until he got kicked in the head by a horse, and now he's a little on the slow side.
These things happen. Edie, tell us about Stormy.
She is a halfling sorcerer who is sort of just a simple village girl until she met Zuga and leave with him.
And she did what with him?
Yeah.
You cut out a little.
Oh man.
I don't want to let my imagination run wild.
She left with him
Okay.
after bandit raid, and a clan raid,
Okay.
tribe raid thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Stormy has sort of adopted Zuga as his caretaker.
Okay.
Make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble.
So what do you guys do when you're not trying to get into too much trouble? Like, are you guys like adventurers, or are you just like hire yourselves out, or
Well, Zuga likes to spend his downtime thinking about heavy philosophical questions and doing a lot of heavy reading.
sure, like cereal boxes and whatnot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kids menu at Applebee's.
any, signs,
okay,
street signs, that sort of thing.
sure.
And in Stormy's downtime, she's trying to become a bard.
Okay. Is that one of the reasons you ran away from home? Did your parents not approve of you wanting to become a bard?
Yes.
That's typical of parents. Because when you're younger, you're always just like, I'm going to be a bard, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be a big bard star. And your parents are always like, go to school.
Get a real job.
Exactly. Dreams are for sleeping.
But since she's playing a sorcerer, she also didn't go to school.
That's true.
No, I
That was one of our big jokes in the Monday campaign with our sorcerer. It was like every time so he told someone what they were, like what the NPCs were always like, oh, so you didn't go to school? Jeff grew tired of my bullshit very quickly. But I mean, he still plays with me, so I guess it's all good. What do you think you guys would have been doing that would have wound up like where you guys would have wound up in some sort of swamp? Like, where would you have been going? Where would you have been heading? What sort of thing might you have been doing that would have led you into a swamp?
Oh, maybe they were traveling between towns and Zuga saw a pretty bird and walked off the road.
Very
Followed.
possibly.
Stormy followed.
Okay.
Or he was carrying Stormy while she was taking a little nap. She woke up and they're just completely lost now.
Man, that sounds good. Okay, so yeah, that happened.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you guys were heading down the road between towns, from town A to town B, and Zuga was carrying Stormy because she was tired. And he doesn't get tired. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who gets tired easily. So it's late in the day, and Stormy, you've woken up. I almost called you Zumi. I don't know why. I've like combined your names. I'm shipping you guys, I guess. So
No, don't do that.
so you were heading from Townsend to Villageburg. Thank you, Cleve. So Stormy, you wake up. However, Zuga is carrying you, and you are in the middle of a swamp. It's starting to get dark. There is like mist and fog starting to like settle over the swamp. It's very dark and deep and splashy. It's definitely the deeper part of a swamp.
Um, Zuga, how did we get here?
Follow bird.
Oh, well, which way? Uh, um, was it at least a pretty bird?
Red.
That's the bird.
Made noise.
What kind of noise? Caw caw? Or
I was making a joke about the siren in the background.
it was so loud. I'm sorry.
That was
I
so
was
loud.
I want them. Oh my god, it's coming around!
It was loud enough to distract Zuga.
Well, how how deep is he? Like wading in water?
I'd say during this short conversation, for the most part, it's been like anywhere from like 3 inches to like a foot deep. Although it definitely seems like there are other areas. Like his intelligence isn't that low. It definitely seems like there are other areas that are much deeper. He seems to be sticking to, for the moment, quote fingers,
Okay.
dry land.
Um. Hmm. Uh, Maybe we should try and find the road again. Which way? Do you know the way back?
All right, at this point, Zuga is going to stop walking
Okay.
and sort of look around.
Oh yeah, you are in a deep swamp. Like you're deep into a swamp. Looking around, I would say that you see no obvious those things that like tell you where you're at. Landmarks is the word I'm looking for. You see no obvious landmarks. You don't even see the bird that you followed into the swamp.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a minute. I was just rolling to see if I remembered why I left the road. No road.
No road? Hmm. Stormy kind of looks around and she kind of scratches the scaly side of her face and well, hmm. Mm, well, we could try, turning around and going way that you came. Maybe find another path and I'll show you the way back.
Do I see another bird that might show me the way?
Give me a perception check. You see another bird. It doesn't look like the kind of bird that would show you the way back. It's just a raven sitting on a branch, just kind of like looking curiously at you, like, what are these people doing? It looks like it might want to follow you.
Man, it's gonna laugh at me. All right, I'll point to it.
Okay. We'll go that way then,
All
in
right.
that direction.
Sure. You start. Go ahead.
Pick a direction and find a road.
Okay. You pick a direction. You guys continue to trudge through the swamp. In places, it is pretty deep. I would say, unless you wanted to try to like search around for drier areas, at some point you'll be like at least waist deep in water. I don't know if you guys want to think about like trying to like go around stuff like that, or would you be going through the water?
Zuga, when you came through the first time when you were you're following the bird, did you get to a point where you were this deep in the water or no?
That's a solid question, Mondo.
What do you think?
I think I don't remember.
Looking at him, is he
Yeah, I mean,
uh
he's thinking hard, but
looking at him, is he dry down to like a certain point? But I know that he's like up to his waist now, but is there any indication that he has been wet further up?
Yes. Um, does Zuga wear a shirt?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there's clearly like mud like up to his nipples, like in some places. Like most of it's fallen off. But like at some point he probably, unless he walked across a vine that had mud on it, he probably went at least nipple deep into some mud and water. You also notice that like the bottom of like your whatever it is you're wearing
Little
has got,
dress.
yeah, your the bottom of your little dress has got some mud on it. Like I don't, how are you carrying her? Like over your shoulders, like Yoda? Were you Yodaing it with her, or
Yeah, probably doing probably like a Yoda thing.
yeah?
He's got like a sash for her to like ride in.
He just hangs out in his backpack.
You have a feeling that he was running through the swamp with you on his back. He did a couple of backflips. He stopped at one point to do a handstand, and he maybe lifted some rocks.
I am a very heavy sleeper. Hmm. Well, it's getting dark.
Yeah, actually, night is beginning to settle over the swamp.
Well, Stormy is getting a little afraid. She can't see in the dark. So, well, I think we should maybe try to find some land. Oh, I have light. Okay, so I made this character like a week ago. So, um, hmm. Find somewhere to make camp. Somewhere dry.
Yeah, you can
Hmm.
definitely see a few places like within wading distance that are where the trees like seem to be like actually sticking up out of ground. It seems maybe a little damp and wet at times, but not, you won't sink. So there's definitely areas you can go to where you could try to make some sort of camp.
Hmm.
So you're heading for one of
So,
those, yeah?
yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah, you head for one of those. As you're making your way there, like there's darkness, like just slowly cloaking the dense undergrowth of the swamp. The water, is turning black or is appearing to turn black. And as this is happening, there's like fog just kind of like rising up off of the water, almost like a, well, you know how fog does that. It comes up off the water. It's doing that surrounding you. It's all damp and stuff, caressing you like cold, dead hands. That's straight from the flavor text. The swamp actually seems to almost sort of like shrink back from these mists. The sounds of birds, possibly that one bird, definitely the other one, seem to almost be fading in these mists. By the time you get to this little outcropping of land, almost hard to find, but you found it. Pretty much all you see is like the tree that's sitting on this land, the ground around you, your friends, well, your friend, whichever one of you are sees the other one, and all of this just like cold fog. It does not feel great, and everything is just very quiet. But you guys have gotten to this land, this little land mass.
Yeah, unless
Go ahead.
somebody otherwise, I'm just gonna be, unpacking my tent, I guess.
Sure.
No, I don't have a
Is it
tent.
big enough for a tent?
It's just a straight bedroll.
Same.
We can say you have a tent if you'd like a tent.
I mean, it's probably not something Zuga would have thought of.
Okay. I'm just saying it's a one shot. It's not going to break the game if you have a tent.
Hmm. Oh gosh. The area even big enough for a tent?
Yeah. Yeah, this small little plot of land that seems dry is big enough to do anything reasonable upon. You could pitch a tent, you could light a small fire, you could stretch out like if you needed to. Yeah, it's not like a tiny little like bump in the middle of the
I don't
swamp.
think
It's
it's.
like yeah, it's large enough that you can.
Isn't it a bad idea to like light a fire in a swamp? I don't know. Try.
Is it big enough to possibly build a castle in this one?
It'd sink. You'd have to build another one.
Ah, that's what I love about our games, Mondo. They just an
One.
incessant stream of obscure pop culture references.
If you lit a fire, it might burn down and then sink into the
All right, well, I'll start building the castle if Stormy wants to light the fire.
swamp. Yeah, so you set up camp. You've built. What does Zuga's castle look like?
Like a pile of furs that he sleeps on.
Okay. Are you gonna light a fire, Stormy?
Sure.
Okay, so the fire warms you. I mean, it is a warm fire. The light just kind of like seems to reflect off of like these mists and this fog. It's not helping you see any further, but it is warming and it is somewhat comforting. So that's probably a good thing.
Uh, get out and roll and kind of curl in it, like
Hmm.
like like Finn in Adventure Time.
Sure.
Whole body except for her face.
Right.
I try to find a road. I don't want to spend another night in the swamp.
You guys gonna set any sort of watch, or are you just gonna get some sleep?
Um, Probably watch for a little while, see if they awaken as they possibly could.
Sure.
I mean, Zuga will absolutely watch if Stormy tells him to, but it's not something he would just think.
Yeah, she'll tell him. She'll tell him to. Uh, she'll tell him. She'll wake him up in a couple of hours.
Sure.
Keep watch.
Okay. So the night passes pretty much uneventfully, unless there's something you wanted to do this evening. Otherwise, you guys wake each other up for watches, however you want to work that out. And eventually, morning would happen, unless once again you want to do something at night that like I didn't think of.
I can't think of anything.
Nope.
Okay, so you wake up in this dismal swamp. It seems a little different than it did yesterday. I mean, you guys did move a little bit in the dark, but I mean, the trees have almost seemed like twisted shadows with claw like branches kind of reaching out. And there is a foul odor coming from the swamp that was not there yesterday, just coming up off the murky water. Overhead through the tangled branches, the sky also kind of seems pretty strange to you. There are menacing clouds rolling across the western sky like a curtain of black smoke.
Oh man, we're in Washington.
It looks like there's a storm brewing. A very bad storm, perhaps, is on its way. It's cold and dismal, and the fog slowly starts receding, although you can see it out in the distance. And it is morning.
We should probably look for the road.
Zuga will nod.
All right, so you guys set off, like looking for the road. As I said, the day is dark and dismal. You have not seen the sun. The air is clammy and cold. You guys are trying to stick to the driest land you can find, but you are surrounded by what definitely appears to be pockets, large pockets of much deeper water. There are logs kind of just like lazily drifting through the stagnant water. Despite the stagnant water, there are very few bugs. I mean, they're there, but you'd almost expect there to have been more bugs, maybe.
I'm grateful for no bugs.
Yeah, that's always good. Moving along, you find no evidence that anybody has ever like walked through this area of the swamp. In the distance, you see no sign of road, just more twisted trees and fogs and mists. Although looking, you do see like it almost looks like the shadows are kind of like slipping through the trees and the underbrush, almost as if the eyes of the swamp are upon you.
Oh,
I don't think I gave myself all of my. Oh, I did. That's good. I'm glad that I did this. I can like look at your stuff without asking you. Like, what's your thing? What's this number so that I give you a hint as to what's coming? Give me all the numbers. So as you guys are making your way through the swamp, and I am looking for my thing. Not like my thing, a thing. There we go. Bloop. Yeah, so lots of water, lots of logs floating by. You guys are making your way through the swamp. From behind you, you suddenly hear a hissing noise, and something lurches up out of the water.
I knew it.
It was one of these logs, but it wasn't really a log.
Oh man, it's the Wally Gator.
Wallygator. Wallygator jumps up out of the water and tries to take a bite out of Zuga. It does not take a bite out of Zuga. It's like jaws snap, like probably about a foot and a half away from you. It probably needs glasses. Did Walligator have glasses? I don't believe he did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah. All right, so this crocodile has just like leapt up out of the water and tried to take a bite out of you, Zuga. I guess now would probably be a good time for us to all roll for initiative. Let me pull that up. And I'll roll for my Walligator. Who the hell's that? Edie, I will add you to the order. Why can't I edit your... There we go. Okay. All right, so... Oh, yeah, snap! Stormy, this thing tried to take a bite out of your buddy. What would you like to do?
I'm going to firebolt it.
Nice. It probably hates that. Or would, had you hit it.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah. The crocodile completely ignores you. It's just like, yeah, I don't... She just... Whatever. And it does bite... It does bite Zuga this time.
It does.
Jesus Christ, Zuga, you take 10 points of piercing damage. And
Best one shot ever.
and you are no. And you are grappled. I'd be a terrible DM if I were to end it like, half an hour in. Yep. Well, thanks for playing, guys. It's been great. Okay, so you are currently grappled, but that's all this crocodile can do, and you can still do stuff if you would like, Zuga.
So, okay, that's what grappling is.
Yeah. Yeah, your speed is 0. You cannot benefit from any bonus to it. You can try to escape from the grapple as an action. It's in a DC 12. It would be your athletics or acrobatics. I'm guessing your athletics would probably be better. Or you can attack it while it's holding on to you.
You know what?
I'm going to say it's got like a really good grip on your left leg. Like that's on your right leg. It's just like really got itself in there.
Yeah, and you know what? That really hurt.
Yeah.
Like quite a bit.
Rage, fucking rage.
So with the roar of pain and anger and surprise, I will fail to hit it with my great axe.
Yeah, you seem to slap it on the head with the flat end of your great axe. It doesn't do any damage. All it does is piss it off.
Perfect.
Seems to be really pissed off.
And that's it for me.
Okay, that'll take us to the top of the order. Stormy. It's got Zuga's leg in its jaws. It seems intent on pulling him into the water.
Try and firebolt again.
Yeah, that one will hit it.
Oh, don't know why it doesn't roll damage.
I don't have it set to auto roll the damage, so if you just click where it says firebolt, it'll roll it.
1d. Sorry.
Yeah, if you just click the word firebolt, it should roll it automatically. Like in the
did.
chat. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, man, 9 points of damage. The fire sears across this crocodile's neck and back. It seems really enraged by this. It's not a happy crocodile. It starts to drag Zuga into the water. Um, what I'm going to do, Zuga, is I'm going to have you give me an athletics check versus its strength check. Yeah. So you're able to like resist like pulling. I don't know if like you're just digging in with your other leg or you've grabbed onto like a snake that you thought was a vine or something, but yeah, it's like you've managed to not get dragged into the deeper into the water. So it is going to try to bite you some more while it's like digging its teeth into you. Yeah, that will happen. It's
That
not.
definitely happened.
Yeah, that's for an additional like 8 piercing as it's like trying to drag you into the water.
That is actually for 4 piercing because I have resistance to piercing, right?
Oh damn, that's right because you are enraged.
I
Let me,
am
let
enraged.
me put a little red dot on you. That'll help me remember that you're raged. Okay, Zuga, it is your turn.
That should hit.
It does. For a total of 15 points of damage. Zuga, tell me what that looked like.
Okay, so after remembering I need to use the sharp side of my axe, I just bring it down right across, like not across, but like right into its along its back, sort of right behind its head,
Sure.
and then wrench my, bleeding leg from its jaws.
Easy enough to do now that it's dead. You, sir, are no longer grappled. Yeah, so you've killed this thing. Like, its blood is just, like, dripping all over the place, pooling out into the water that it was trying to drag you in.
And since I'm still raging, I'm just gonna hit it again.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll just assume that happens.
And eventually I just keep hacking at it until I calm down.
Okay.
It takes a minute.
The sun's getting real low there, buddy.
Just this alligator paste on the ground. Zuga's just jumping up.
It doesn't appear to have had any treasure or anything, but
It's got 4 magic items.
I don't know. Did we check inside it?
I think you've reduced it to like jam.
would you like to check inside of it?
I'm Zuga would not think to look inside the alligator or
Okay.
I mean,
crocodile.
uh, in there, maybe a little bit. Dude, that's gross. Sorry. Dude, that's too gross for her.
Let's do this. Okay. All right. So, based on the way you described the way you hit it and the fact that you kept hacking at it, you notice that there is an arm sticking up out of the alligator's back now. It's like broken and mangled, mostly by you. It definitely wasn't doing well before that happened.
Army will point it out to him. Maybe could you try and pull that out?
Do I need to make a roll to pull that out, or can I just pull it out?
Yeah, no. So you're gonna pull it out.
Sure.
Yeah. So you start wrenching out what's be like half-eaten body. by which I mean like you're pulling at half the body, the other half may be deeper inside the crocodile somewhere. It's already started to what's the word for like when you eat something? It's partially digested already. The arm comes apart like as you're pulling at it. But whatever it was seems to be wearing some sort of like pack on its back. Some might call it a backpack.
Stormy will start looking through the backpack.
Yeah, it's filled with like gross stuff like stomach acids and bad things
Ew.
and water and what appears to mostly be ruined items. There's like some rope. I mean, you could probably still use the rope. I wouldn't eat the food that was in there.
Oh.
Yeah, the leaves that the lembas bread were wrapped in weren't watertight, but there is an oilskin pouch. It seems to contain some glass items.
Some what?
Glass items. Like you hear glass tinkling around in there, in this oilskin
Shall
pouch.
cautiously open it.
Yeah, there are 4 vials within this pouch. Based on what little experience you've had reaching 2nd level, you believe they are potion vials of some kind. Filled with a very, very video game like red liquid.
Wait, what color were they?
Video game red.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She'll like look at Zuga and she'll look at the vials. Hmm. On a scale of 1 to your max hit points.
I mean, since we're metagaming, I'm sitting on 11 out of 25 right now.
Jesus. Okay.
That crocodile messed me up, man.
Since we're
I'm so
metagaming, I would almost suggest that maybe you save them and just take like a short rest and burn some dice.
Okay.
These potions are just there because like it's like, well, it's just the 2 of you, and neither one of you is a healer. Let's give them a little bit of a healer. Yeah, let's give them a little healer.
Besides, I feel like Stormy would probably not be like, "Hey, Zuga, drink this and see what happens."
I was thinking, like, I mean, I can try it because I have a high, like, my con is okay, but for all I know, this is the worst poison ever.
Video game colored poison usually has a pixelated skull and crossbones on it.
Yeah. Take a rest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for taking a short rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can burn like both of your hit dice or just one of them, however you want to do that. Stormy, I would say that like based on your 2 levels of experience, I mean they look familiar enough that if you would like to roll an Arcana check, you could definitely do that, and perhaps it might.
Which kind of check? An Arcana?
Yeah, maybe you can roll an Arcana check. Oh yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you've seen like you haven't been able to afford them in your short time as an adventurer, but people who realize that you were an adventurer have tried to sell you potions of healing, and they've showed them to you. Like, look at it; it's so video game red. You can't say for sure that these are them, but the liquid appears to be the same as like these potions that people were trying to sell you.
Gotcha. Well, she'll put them in her bag. And she'll give. How many are there?
There are 4.
Okay, she'll give 2 to Zuga. If I give you these, are you going to take care of them and not break them? Hold on to them.
I mean, metagaming, you should probably hang on to them. Just because I may not remember that they're there when I need them.
Okay. I will do that.
But Zuga has a habit of breaking things.
I know.
Not like on purpose.
Yeah.
I think Zuga should have one more hit point. If you were at 11 and you got 8 on your hit dice.
I think you're right. I think my math was wrong.
It's late. I can barely do math this late at night.
I mean, I can barely do math no matter what time of day it is.
Um,
All right. So as you guys are resting and looking over like this dead crocodile, you notice a little further out in the water, a couple of the logs seem to have left, but there does appear to be what looks like a flat bottom boat. It's like maybe like half submerged, but it's still floating. Edie, if you're saying anything, I can't hear you. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. I saw your circle lit, but like I wasn't hearing anything, so I was just like, oh, I might not be
No
able to.
problem. Um, wait, how far away is the thing that's floating?
Maybe like 25 feet.
Mm,
When those other logs were kind of floating there, with the log that jumped up out of the water and tried to bite you, um, it wasn't really discernible amongst the other logs. But now that those other logs have left,
I'll send my mage hand
sure.
over there and I'll like tap it.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, your mage hand taps this flat bottom boat. It kind of like stirs like very very little, but it stirs like a boat would stir, like if you tapped it with something, not like it was going to try to bite you. Stirring.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a flat bottom boat.
I don't think it'll attack us. Do you want to go check it out?
Yeah, Zuga will just walk over there.
Okay. So you walk into the water. Once again, it gets to be about like nipple height.
Um, uh, Zuga, up please. I need up please.
Oh, were you going? Were you going with him?
Go with it. Up please.
Yeah, I'll pick her up and put her on my back, on my shoulders, whatever.
Yeah, it is indeed a flat bottomed boat. There seems to be a hole knocked into the center of the boat. Splintered wood, like, kind of lifting up, like maybe like a log like came up from underneath it or something. There is also a chest. It seems to be waterlogged, but there's definitely a chest on this boat.
This is like the other half of the person we found in the alligator.
Very possibly.
Or like a chest, like a container.
Oh, like a chest, like a container. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was the torso half is what you pulled out of the
Okay.
crocodile. Yeah, it was the torso half of the guy. Yeah, this is a different kind of chest.
Maybe you can try and use your battle axe to open it, or great axe, right?
Yeah, it's a great axe.
Just Zuga smash. I want to
Yeah,
hurt what's inside.
I will swat the hell out of that thing with my great axe.
Sure, go ahead and give me an attack on that great axe. Yeah, yeah, you smash the hell out of the front of it. Maybe you didn't hit it exactly where you wanted, but yeah, no, you definitely hit it, and the whatever locking mechanism had definitely seemed to smash along with half the lid.
And then Stormy will open the rest of it. If the lock's gone, she'll open it with her mage hand.
Sure. Yeah, your mage hand opens it up. Inside, there seems to be a whole bunch of like wet stuff, waterlogged food, clothes, and there is like some sort of bundle, like in a wet blanket. There's like a bundle all wrapped up.
Mage hand will try to open that up, the bundle.
Sure. You mage hand open the bundle. There are two short swords. They appear to be very wet. They do not appear to be rusting or anything. It's possible they haven't been in the water that long. I mean, that guy was only partially digested if it was his chest in his boat.
Do you want the short swords?
Too small.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh shoot, train. Sorry.
That's okay. The sound of a ghost train echoes through the swamp. You realize you may not be in Kansas anymore. Do you guys just want to leave the stuff and do you want to leave the stuff and press on, or
I mean, the D&D player in me is like, take the short swords. We could trade them later. But the Zuga is like,
sure?
those are tiny girly weapons, and I don't need them.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Are they like the size of like long swords to Stormy?
Yeah, almost.
She'll tell Zuga to put them in his pack just in case. Maybe we can sell them.
Yeah, that's yeah, he'll do that.
Okay. And then you guys are just going to press on through the swamp.
I mean, unless there's anything. What else was in the chest? Just a bunch of waterlogged junk.
Yeah, there was waterlogged food, clothes. None of it looks very edible. The clothes could be wearable. Were they to be washed and dried, or someone had prestidigitation?
I don't have either.
Yeah. Yep. As soon as Stormy says, "Go ahead," we'll just keep pushing on through the swamp.
Okay, so you guys stop me if you want to do something as I do some exposition as you're like walking through the swamp. You are walking through the swamp. Occasionally, once again, it gets, there are deeper areas you might have to wade through. There are the occasional, like, pretty decent dry patches of land where you're making better time. Eventually, like, night falls again. It doesn't seem like that first night where all those mist, like, kind of closed in. There's some, but it seems more, quote fingers, normal, as opposed to how oppressive it was that first night. You guys make your camp. You light a small fire. Perhaps you get some rest. It would count as a long rest, so you can like bump yourself back up to 25 hit points, Zuga. And the next morning, you start out again, just walking through the swamp. You have seen no signs so far during that first day of any sort of civilization, any sort of life. No sign, no trail, no markers saying this is the right way to go to get back to the road. I'm wondering what the wisdom save was for. Anything you want to say or do, or
To see if I, remembered to pay attention to logs today.
okay. So once again, you guys pick a direction. There is no There is no sun. Again, it's all just these like storm clouds, just kind of like rolling just overhead. It's very oppressive. You can kind of get an idea of which way the sun is just early in the morning, like the direction it's becoming light in first. But that's really pretty much about it. It's just dark. Um, so you continue on pushing through this swamp. It seems like after like another day, time is starting to lose meaning. It's like these sunless days are just gray. They just turn into these black moonless nights. And each day, I mean, these clouds like almost seem like they're boiling in the sky, but it's not. Rain has not happened unless you tell me you have done something within 3 days.
The
I pause.
uh, I can't think of anything. Stormy would probably be getting a little. They weren't going to find a way out.
Oh yeah, you're definitely starting to get that feeling. Like it's starting to feel almost hopeless. Like this swamp just seems to go on forever. To the best of your ability. I mean, it seems like you guys are going in some sort of like straight line. It doesn't seem like maybe you've been walking in circles. Hard to tell. Everything does look the same in the swamp. But yeah, it's starting to feel, at least definitely for Stormy, it's starting to feel a little hopeless. I don't know how Zuga would take it.
I mean, Zuga probably. I mean, it's just a thing. They
Okay.
could have been. I mean, they could have been walking through the swamp for a day, a week.
Okay. Excellent.
Try to Stormy would try to stay positive when talking to him and just keep him from feeling depressed as well and hopeless.
So you guys are continuing, trying to feel better about the situation somehow. Twilight is nigh when you see a light up ahead. There seems to be a little island of dry land rising up out of the stagnant water, and there's a small camp with a fire. You can see flickering light from this little fire on this little island, and there's what appears to be a colorful gypsy wagon. There are two old mares on the wagon. There are three little kids. They're dressed in very colorful, bright clothes. They're playing with each other and stuff. And you, as you get closer, you can hear them like laughing and maybe smacking each other around. You know how kids are. And there's like an old woman just like kind of watching them, just like smiling. A moment later, two men step into view. One is very old and thin. The other seems to be young and strong. They settle themselves by the fire. And then the old man just like, kind of like looks up, directing the gaze of his good eye on you. The other one
Uh,
appears to be very milky and blank. And he smiles and motions with a withered hand, like,
oh,
come, come.
I will look at Stormy.
oh, go ahead, go ahead. We're hello.
Yes, come, please, sit by the fire.
How happy I am to see you, or any person for that matter.
Ah, have you been lost in the swamp?
Yes.
Oh, it's good that you find us. Come, please, warm yourselves, dry yourselves. We have enough food and wine to share.
They don't seem at all perturbed by the half dragon stuff.
No, they don't seem perturbed at all.
That's odd. um, yeah, she'll sit down with them, uh, closer to Zuga. What
I am
are you
Scar.
doing up here? Sorry.
Oh, I am Scar Jenny. Me and my family, we are traveling. We are leaving the area. It's time to go. So This is my wife. He points to the old lady, Rihanna. She seems like really old. She's plump with silver hair. Her eyes are laughing. You know, not literally
Mhm.
like a cartoon, but this is my son Carlone. He has black hair and this big black mustache. And these are his children. And it's is good to see you. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you. I'm Stormy, and this is Zuka.
Ah, Stormy and Zuga. You're not from around here, are you?
No, in that swamp for quite some time.
Mm. Yes. Are you headed to Mare de Tarascon? Mare de
Um,
Tarascon.
no, we were heading to Villageburg.
Ah, I don't know where Villageburg is, but I do know Mare de Tarascon is not far. It's at the edge of the swamp. But
Well, could we possibly come with you?
well, we are not going there. We are coming from there.
Oh, where are you going?
Wherever fortune takes us.
Right. Mm.
But the village, yes,
Uh,
it is not far.
it's not far.
No. But not the place to visit on a night such as this. And then the younger, bigger man, he kind of like mutters under his breath. He just says, "It better to stay in swamp." But so you are more than welcome to join us for dinner, share our fire until morning, and perhaps there will even be time for a fortune.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Sometimes it could be fun. But please, please eat, eat. And over the fire, they had like a pot of some sort of like a bubbling stew. It smells delicious.
Stormy will take some.
It is delicious.
Would
Rihanna,
would you like
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
would you like some Zuka?
Zuga will eat as much as anyone gives him.
We have plenty. Please eat. Rihanna pulls
Quite,
out a like a small cask of wine. Drink. It goes good with stew.
he probably eats quite messily too.
Rihanna looks at him and she's like smiling. She's like, "Hey, it's a big boy with a big appetite, like Carlone was when he was little boy."
After Stormy finishes eating, she'll pull out her violin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want music? I can play.
Ah, please, yes, we would love to hear it. I have not heard a violin in a long time. And as he says that, the big guy Carlone kind of just like looks a little sad once once the old man says that Scaringi.
Oof, let's see. It's not bad.
No, yeah, it's not bad at all. What sort of tune are you playing?
um, Maybe something a little happier.
Okay, you play something happy. Carlone's got a tear like dripping down his face. He seems even sadder, but he's
What's wrong?
smiling. He is smiling though. It's nothing. It's time for children. It's time for children to go to bed. You play very well,
Yeah.
almost as well as Vistani. Come, children, into the wagon. Time for bed. And the kids like, I mean, they really enjoyed the music. They were really happy, but like they're like, "Oh, do we have to?" And he's like, "Yes, yes, time for bed. Maybe I tell you a story about elves. Maybe I tell you a story about when we were far away. We met the little ferryman with his friends, and bad things happen. But that's a story for another time."
Oh, did he put a fairy curse on him?
So as he ushers the kids into the wagon, a young woman comes out of the back of the wagon. She's got big, dark, expressive eyes. She smiles shyly, then kind of sits beside the fire. And Scarjendi says, "This is my beautiful daughter Valana. She is the one who will tell your fortune."
Hello.
Hello. So she gazes at each one of you in turn, the firelight's like shining in her large black eyes. And she kind of like drifts off almost dreamily, and she's like, "The trouble began when I cast the runes for that quiet and lost young man. Perhaps it will end with another casting." She holds a flat pan in her lap, and she's got some stone tiles in her hands. She gazes once again into each of your eyes, and she drops the tiles into the pan. And then she gasps. She seems like almost a little shocked. She's like, "The lost one has called you." The other members of the family who are still sitting by the fire, the older couple, they make some sort of like protective gesture, like a Doctor Strange kind of thing, like to ward off like an evil eye kind of thing.
um,
"The dead will walk with the coming storm, and you must find a way to put them to rest. If you cannot, the rain will turn to blood. It will drown you and all of Moray the Tarascon."
are you sure?
I I am sure. Uh, Scarengi just he quickly just like kind of ushers his wife and daughter into the wagon. He's like, "No, no, come." He says, "No charge for your fortune. It's time to rest after the long adventures of the day, but be our guests and sleep beside the fire."
Thank you.
They go inside.
I'll look over at Stormy and look more confused than usual.
Um,
Zuga, not here, call.
Stormy doesn't exactly know how to interpret that or handle what she's heard. Um, Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can deceive Zuga into thinking that I'm okay. Good. Well, it's getting late. We should probably get to sleep.
I'll just nod and, assuming I haven't already, spread my animal furs on the ground.
Okay. So you guys start settling in near the fire for some sleep. You hear the door of the wagon creak open, and Valana is standing in the doorway. She looks behind her as if to like make sure no one is watching her, and she speaks barely above a whisper, but you can definitely hear her clearly. She says, "Beware the madman. Beware his blood.
Does he have a name or anything they need to be aware of?
Just beware his blood." And then she goes back inside the wagon and closes the door.
Okay.
"I'm not very helpful.
Those who get any sort of prophecy usually aren't.
Yes, true that. And with that, you guys are able to. I was gonna say settle into sleep, but settle might be the wrong word. Like you guys eventually fall asleep, I would assume. Maybe Zuga falls asleep a little easier. He seems to be less concerned with weirdness, but he might not be.
Yeah, Zuga doesn't have much trouble sleeping unless it's, noisy or light, or he threw his animal skins down on a bunch of sharp rocks or something.
When you wake in the morning, the wagon is gone. There is
Oh,
no
they
sign that it was even there, with the exception of the fact that like this was not a fire you lit. It's like still kind of like there's a little bit of fire left. It's like maybe somebody put some sticks on it before they vanished. But there is also a small pack of food and there's another small cask of wine.
Well, I wish I would have been able to say goodbye. So it's a like a pouch with food and stuff.
Yeah, like a like a care package. It's probably about like a cubic foot of just like some hard bread, some hard cheese, the stuff that doesn't go bad quickly.
Cool.
Some dried fruit, a small pack of gummy bears. There is no actually. Let me. There is a small package of some sort of red candy. Like that's legit.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you try some of the candy?
Um. No, not right
Okay.
now.
All right. Okay. Once again, unless you tell me otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're going to pack up your stuff and like head back out, like start still trying to find your way.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. So you guys start making your way through the swamp again. I'm still heading in like what you feel is probably the same direction. I'm not going to say if it's the right direction or wrong direction or but the same direction you were heading in. Nothing has really changed in the swamp. Again, you're not sure if like you're going in circles, but you're relatively sure that you are going in a straight line. So if you're going in circles, it's not your fault. As the day starts to grow dark again, the trees in this part of the swamp seems to start like kind of closing in, like forming like a thick tangle of branches and exposed roots. Progress starts to slow down. It becomes a little more difficult. There are like sharp broken limbs, like kind of scratching at your arms. The wind is whistling an odd tune as it rushes through the leaves overhead. And in the mist ahead of you, as you break through a clump of foliage, you see a light again in the distance. It's brighter than a single lantern. It's warm and inviting in the cold, damp air. But it's not like at eye level, it's hovering in the dark so that you have to kind of like look up to see it. You approaching this light?
Yeah, I think so. Unless Stormy does anything to stop me.
Okay. So almost like moths to a flame, like you're going towards this light.
Yeah, definitely like a moth to a flame.
As you start getting closer, you see it's a small wooden house, hardly larger than a shack. and there's light spilling from two front windows and a wide open door, and it seems to be suspended in the air above the surface of the swamp. You can even see its reflection shimmering in the dark, stagnant pool in front of it. It is floating in the darkness in the swamp. Do you continue to approach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. As you get closer, you're starting to walk through water now. It's not too deep, maybe like calf high on Zuga. You see that the house isn't actually floating in the air. It just looks that way in the darkness. There are four pretty stout poles rising up out of the swamp, lifting the house about 10 feet up out of the water. Other than the occasional croak of a frog or cricket chirp, the house is quiet and the swamp is pretty still. And as I said, the front of the shack has two windows and an open door. There seem to be no sort of windows or anything. From the angle, you can't see inside. In most places, the water's about 2 feet deep around. You see, there are a couple of other places where, as you were approaching, it seems like it might have gotten a little deeper, but it's easy enough to avoid those places. What would you like to do?
Um,
Man,
um,
these wisdom saves are terrible.
yeah. um, what do you want to do, Zuga?
You say it's dark, right? Or getting dark?
Yeah.
I'll point to the house and say, sleep.
Well, let's okay. Let's go see what's going on there.
I mean, I'm definitely metagaming, but I was rolling to see if I would think to look and see if there are any like lights coming through windows or anything.
Oh no, there definitely is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can't see inside the house, but there was bright light coming from the two when you were further out. Bright light coming from the two windows and from the open door.
Excellent.
But again,
Um,
yeah, it's about 10 feet
as
up.
when they are so we're going towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to the door, Stormy will kind of knock on the door frame. She'll have Zuga stop.
Well,
Hello?
well, again, it's 10 feet up on
Oh, it's
these
10 feet
like
up.
yeah on these like stilts.
Huh. Well, no ladder or anything.
Funny you should mention that. As you guys get closer, a rope ladder drops from the doorway. You don't see any sort of
Oh,
figure stepping into the light, and not even a shadow passes the open door. But this ladder
my
seems to be
gosh.
constructed of wooden steps and thick rope, and it just like rolls out with a brief clatter of the knocking wood. The last step hangs just above the surface of the water.
Um, I I think I should mention that whoever you are, uh, that my friend is rather um hefty, all muscle. I don't want to break your ladder.
There is no response.
Okay, well, if I come up, he's coming up too. So I'll help you. Maybe pay for another ladder, and she'll climb up.
Okay. Zuger, are you climbing
Zuga
up?
will, yeah, he will follow
Okay.
after.
So the ladder does not break. It definitely seems sturdy enough so that it doesn't do that. When you guys get to the top of the ladder, looking inside the front door, you see that this like small little house only has one room. There are more than 2 dozen lanterns hanging from pegs on the wall and sitting on the warped wooden floor. And so this whole shack is like flooded with light. To the right side of the door, there are unopened boxes neatly stacked against the wall, and there's an open top barrel beside those boxes. In the center of the room, facing the door, is a young man. He's probably about like 16, he seems. He's got long blonde hair. It's hanging kind of limply down to his shoulders. He seems unusually thin and pale. His features are kind of tortured. He's wearing simple shirt and pants. They seem like they're pretty clean. And he's got a small book in his lap. He makes no move to like get up or greet you, but he says, "Beyond descend shall evil of night the land. At near is signs of Hexad. This when."
You're cutting out kind of bad.
Oh. It might sound like I'm cutting out, but okay, so I'm going to repeat it again. Like I said, it seems incomprehensible, like what he's saying. It doesn't. It seems like a jumble. The on descend shall evil of night the land. At near is signs of Hexad this when. Is what he says.
Hmm.
Can you
Right.
type that out, write that out in Roll20?
Sure.
Also, you said there's like a dozen lanterns.
Yeah. Hanging on the walls and sitting on the floor.
Yeah, so not that Zuga would make this connection, but man, this guy definitely doesn't want to be in the dark for some reason.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in Ravenloft could be any number of reasons.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's what I get for not looking at my screen as I'm typing. I didn't actually type anything. I just pounded on my keyboard. Hate when that happens.
No idea how many times I've done that.
Okay, I actually typed it this time. So yeah, so this is what he says. The on descend shall evil of night the land. At near is signs of Hexad this when hand. Although he said it more like I said it the first time, kind of like almost like absent-mindedly. Like, the on descend shall evil of night the land. At near is signs of Hexad this when hand.
Okay. All right.
Like I said,
I'm
he's also
Smarmy. This is Suka. He didn't break your ladder.
Zuga.
he just sits there. He doesn't look directly at either one of you. He's just like looking out the door.
Are you all right? Did you want us to close the door?
When you suggest closing the door, his face kind of twists like he doesn't like that idea. Like he doesn't actually respond to it and he doesn't look at you, but like you notice like his face kind of like twists like no. No. Yeah, he doesn't make that noise or anything, but yeah.
Since he seems pretty unresponsive, Zuga will reach out and like give him a little shake on the shoulder.
He lets you do that. He doesn't respond in any other way.
Hmm.
He's just got that green book in his hands and
Um,
lanterns everywhere.
I'll use my mage hand to grab the book.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick, please.
Yeah, you're able to pull out of his hands. I mean, he kind of like clutches to it like a little bit, like as if it were like slipping out of his hand. But he doesn't actually like clamp down on it or try to pull it back. He lets you he lets you take the book.
And she'll, well, using the mage hand to hold it, she'll turn the pages
Mm-hmm.
with her actual hands, I guess.
It's
What's in it?
it seems to be a collection of children's poems. Each poem that you note when you're looking at it seems it's a short rhyme, kind of similar to the confused verses like that he was like saying. There was some sort of inscription on the first page.
What is it? What does the first page say?
It says, "To Luke, my beloved brother," and it's signed Marcel.
Uh, wasn't that one of the people we saw on the road? Well, on the road in the swamp. I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry.
No, no, there was no Marcel.
Did they mentioned a Marcel? I'm sure.
I don't remember that.
I will look and double check just in case I am wrong. It's very possible. What do you want, dog? You're a good girl.
Aww.
Oh man, I meant to send that to you, Mondo. I gotta find it now.
They mentioned Marais de Tarascon, Marais de Tarascon, which is the village, but not. They never directly mentioned anyone named Marcel.
Okay. Okay. My bad.
I was well. I mean, I was butchering the pronunciation of this village name, so I mean that could be where that came from. Because I'm like Marais de Tarascon.
That might have been
Yeah, that could have been
what I.
it. But yeah, so it's signed. It's to Luke, my beloved brother, signed Marcel.
Are you Luke?
He does not answer you.
Hmm. Through the pretty like quickly. Does she see any like notes or anything written, like handwritten? Look
Aside from that
handwritten.
inscription, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Need help? Or...
The mother stern of child lifeless found heralds evil of a night, a time unbound.
Um, I don't understand. Is that another? Is that another one of the? She'll flip through the book. Is that another one that is in there, or is that one that isn't?
Not directly, but like again, it's sort of like the way these small children's poems are written seem very similar.
Hmm.
He still does not look at you, either of you, or make any sort of like sign that you're even there or anything.
Hmm. Stormy will try to like line of sight, I guess. Maybe
To what?
she'll try to get into his line of sight. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can easily get into his line of sight. He does appear to be staring through you.
He does what?
He's like you're in his line of sight, but he's just like staring through you.
Hmm. Does he feel cold if she touches like his forehead or something?
Yeah, you're able to touch his forehead. He does feel kind of cold, not like cold like dead, but just cold like some kid who's just sitting in this like shack, not really doing anything to like really take care of himself.
Hmm.
I mean he feels alive. I'm not sure if that's what you were looking for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean he is kind of chilly.
Um. Hmm. Looking around, is there anything you want to do?
Um, I don't know. I mean, there are
Same.
things there are things I want to do, but there are things that Zuga would not think about. Yeah, no, I'm just kind of. I'll try
Man,
shaking
that
him again.
roll 20 is really making you roll like Zuga. Um.
I
Hmm.
got rolls like Zuga.
I mean, I was gonna maybe look at the lanterns and see if they were like positioned in a certain way, or if there was a pattern to them.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a good idea.
See, it's
With
hard to like. It's kind of
I'm
hard to
not
play the
great with this.
super dumb character when you're actually like not dumb.
I I wouldn't say I'm dumb. I'm just not good at puzzle type things or like mystery type things.
Oh
I'm usually
well,
the
I mean,
one that kind of waits it out to see if
clearly if
anybody
this
figures it
yeah, clearly if this was a video game, you just like move the lanterns around into the right order, and then the secret door opens, and we continue our quest. But
Exactly.
or I'll just look it up on like Wikipedia. Um,
open the console and cheat code.
um, idea on what to do. Well, besides what he mentioned was looking to see if there's any sort of pattern to the lanterns.
Sure, there doesn't appear to be.
Okay,
Yeah, there
and
appears to
are they
be no. They are all lit, yes. It is very bright in there.
brighter than my future in here? Hmm. I don't want to cause him distress by turning off one of the lanterns, but
Is there a bed?
It doesn't say that there is a bed, but I would assume that there is a bed. Yeah, let's go ahead and say that there is a bed. It looks completely unslept in.
Okay. I will pick the guy up and put him on the bed.
Sure. Yeah, he absolutely lets you pick him up and put him on the bed. He repeats that first phrase again as you're laying him down. The on descend shall evil of night the land at nearest signs of Hexad this one hand. And yeah, he's on the bed.
I'll look at his hands.
Mm-hmm. They're they're just kind of like twitching, like maybe he's like still holding something, but he's not. But like he's got them like kind of shaped, and his like fingers like kind of trying to feel the surface of something that's not there.
Stormy will put the book back. Give him the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his fingers stop that little twitching thing, and he just like holds the book to his chest as he lays on the bed.
Um, this place is spooky. It's spooky, and I don't like it. But I'm concerned.
Hmm.
Do you want us to camp here?
Dry.
It is very
Um,
dry.
is this the shack? Is it's a shack
Yeah.
or just one room?
Yep.
Okay. Um, yeah, she'll roll out her bedroll and near Zuga,
Mm-hmm.
behind Zuga.
Is there some sort of like a heater or stove or anything?
Just the heat coming off of the lanterns. Which I mean, there's a lot of lanterns, so I mean, it's pretty warm in there. You know, it's not like super warm. There is like a cool breeze coming through the open windows and door, but I wouldn't go so far as to say it's chilly. It's comfortable.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just throw down my skins and I don't know. Zuga would stretch out or curl up.
Like he's bigger than Stormy is, so that's a wall between her and whatever comes in.
Yeah.
Hey, could this be a good time for like a 5 minute break?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. Yeah. So let's take a 5 minute break, and we'll see if it gets any spookier when we come back. We'll be back, folks.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we are back in a creepy house in a creepy swamp with a creepy young man. And you guys have spent a creepy night in this place. But I mean, maybe it's maybe it's all the lanterns. But you slept okay. Like you didn't sleep bad. It's probably the best sleep you've had since you wound up in the swamp. So that's something.
What about the guy? Is he still in the?
He is still in the bed.
Does he look like he is asleep or has slept?
He does not look like he has slept. He is currently awake. And as you're looking at him to see if either of those things has happened, he says that thing again. Beyond descent shall evil of night their land, at near is signs of hexad when this hand. The mother stern of a child lifeless found, heralds evil of night a time unbound.
You're cutting out quite a bit there.
Oh no. Yeah, he says that second thing again. The mother stern of child lifeless found, heralds evil of night a time unbound. I will type that into chat as well.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. The mother stern of child lifeless found, heralds evil of night a time unbound. Looking out the back window as you were looking at him lying on his bed, I mean, you see that it is quote unquote daytime. It's still cloudy. The clouds are still kind of like boiling in the sky. But you do see a couple of streams of smoke that appear to be chimney smoke, not too far off in the distance, in the same direction that you had been heading, towards the direction the sun rises.
We could probably go to like a chimney.
I'd say at least like, I mean, like I'm talking like a minimum of like four or five chimneys. Hard to say. There's mist and fog and stuff, but definitely at least 4 or 5.
Maybe we could go there and see if anybody knows what's going on with him.
Yeah, I'll nod and grunt.
Grunting is
Awesome.
What do you say?
Good. As you say that, he stands up out of the bed, still clutching his book. In sorcerer the Dagon of house the born, though shall I'm living on life scorn. And again, I will type it. And he's just standing there.
I'll just stand there and look at him.
Okay.
Like, did he abruptly stand up?
When you talked about going to the village. He stood up.
Hmm. Um,
Would you guys? Are you guys gonna start heading out?
Yeah, but I want to
yeah.
watch the guy pretty carefully and make sure he's not doing anything threatening. Like,
Sure. Yeah, he's definitely follows you out of the house. Like if you guys leave the shack, I mean, he follows you almost like he's
He
still.
follows?
Yeah, he's like not really paying attention to you guys, but as you guys leave, I mean, he follows you out of the house. He climbs down the ladder and everything, standing in the water.
Oh, y- y- you want to come with us?
He's just standing there.
Okay, spooky. Got it. Um,
He is spooky.
I'll do the thing.
onward, Zuga.
I'll do the thing where like I take a step and then stop and see if he takes.
He does. He takes a step behind you and then stops.
I'll take like 2 steps.
He takes 2 steps.
I'll take 1 step back.
1 step back.
Yeah.
He just stands there.
I will pick up Stormy and start running.
No, that's gonna be so weird.
You start running. He at first he starts walking, but then he starts walking faster. Again, not really paying attention to you, not really saying anything. And then he seems to start running, but he's having difficulty. Like he's like splashing through his like he's getting kind of stuck in the mud and stuff. But he seems intent on following you. Or he's still running.
No, I'll stop running.
Okay. He stops running. If there's a sign of gratefulness on his face, it's faint, but it's there.
Hmm?
He there. It's like his face is still kind of like blank, but maybe you pick up like the slight sign of like being mildly grateful that he no longer has to try to run. You do notice that the sky hasn't changed as far as like letting any sunlight in, but the clouds seem a lot blacker and darker, and you do see the occasional flash of lightning, and you can hear thunder. It looks like when this storm breaks, it's probably going to be pretty big and spectacular. And unless you tell me anything else, I'm assuming you guys are heading towards where you saw the chimneys.
Yeah, I'm just watching a guy.
Okay.
Keep a
Same.
careful eye on him.
Yeah, he's just following you, like, like puppy dog like. as you guys like head towards this village. And we don't need to make like a little tiny thing of you guys. So I'm just going to throw Zuga up here since he's carrying Stormy. You guys come out of the swamp near this small village. It's a cluster of small wood and thatched buildings at the edge of the swamp. It looks like it probably could hold maybe about like a couple of hundred people. To the south of the village, there looks like to be some sort of like large plantation, maybe about a mile south. And there are people definitely like, walking about in the village. Things are people doing stuff in this village.
And the guy's still following us?
Yep. There is a 10-foot high wall on top of this hill over here. On the other side of the village, there's like a church in front of it. Some creepy looking church.
I am only seeing a black square.
Oh, that's because you're... Alright, let me put Stormy on the screen too. There we go.
Okay.
You should see it now.
I do.
Okay, sorry.
Good. Hmm.
There is a large, what appears to be inn behind like a wall over here. And again,
We should go there first.
Yeah, there are houses and stuff. Yeah, so you guys start heading over to the inn. There are some people, like I said, they're walking through the streets. And at the
Perturbed by the guy.
no, they're not really. I mean, like they haven't like really looked in your direction yet. But as you get closer to the inn, yeah, I mean they definitely start to notice you getting closer.
Did they notice the guy following us?
Mm-hmm.
She'll kind of go up to the first friendly-looking person.
Yeah, the first person you see looks sort of friendly, although they're kind of like they kind of ignore you for a second, and he looks over your shoulder, and he's like, "Luke."
Is his name Luke?
Yes, this is Luke the Tarascon. We have not seen you in quite a while, Luke.
Well, keeps repeating things.
Repeating things. 7
Yeah,
dots.
like
He says, 7 doth sons of sun the time rise, to of eternity, and to knave the send cries.
yeah, like that.
Oh,
So I've never heard that one before.
and neither have I. It's very strange. I'm sorry. I am so rude. My name is Hank.
uh, I'm Stormy.
Stormy is an interesting name. Who is this big fellow?
This is my friend Zuga.
Zuga.
That.
Is nobody's like concerned that he's green or greenish?
Is he ill?
No, just half orc.
Half orc.
And I'm halfling.
Oh, half orc, halfling. I get it. Ah. I am Hank.
Um,
It seems to be quite the storm coming, huh?
yeah, yeah, I noticed. Um, uh, how long have you not seen Luke for? When was the last time you saw him?
Oh, this He kind of like he looks at Luke, and he kind of like gestures you to come closer to him.
She will.
Maybe a little over 3 weeks ago. Um, his brother Marcel died, and some say he was killed by the undead. This was the last time we saw Luke. Um, the other brother, Jean, he said that Luke was fine. We were a little worried, but I mean, I don't know if I'd say he's fine, but he's at least he looks like he's still alive.
Yeah, he's a bit odd. Was he always this way?
No, no, but he was very close to Marcel. He was very close to Marcel. I mean, we wondered when Marcel was killed. We were like, "Oh, what will this do to Luke?" And he gestures at Luke. He's like, "Apparently, this is what happens to Luke."
Hmm.
Luke, it's good to see you. And Luke just kind of ignores him. But yeah, Jean has now he's taken over the family business, the plantation, and so
Um,
where did you find them?
There was a shack in the swamp that was on stilts.
Oh,
Found him in there, and there was a lot of lanterns in there and burning, and he was just sitting in a chair.
that's that's definitely strange.
Spooky.
Lots of things are spooky around here lately. And the storm, I wish it would, even though it looks like it's going to be bad, I mean, I wish it would just happen already. Just get it over with, huh?
I agree. Uh, there was also in swamp. There were some people with a wagon. We stayed the night with them. And she'll name off a few of the names of the ones that she talked
Oh,
to.
oh, the Vistani.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are strange people, but I tell you, without the Vistani, I mean, we wouldn't have some of the pleasures we still have here in town, the things that we can't produce ourselves. They didn't give you any trouble, did they?
No, 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 not at all. They they shared their food and their camp with us. They're very kind.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So,
Should
uh,
they not?
well, you know, some Vistani who come through here, not as nice as others. But I'm glad that these folks seem to be pleasant. It's good.
Where could I find
You may have cut out. I heard where can you find? I'm assuming maybe
Okay.
you said Jean, but
Yes, John.
uh, I'm not sure. He has a townhouse. He has a townhouse here in town, but you might find him at the inn.
Uh, thank you. We'll check there.
I am putting in the stuff that
We're gonna say that he said it too.
no, this is all the stuff that she said. I probably should have put that in the chat for you as well, but this is all the stuff that she had said. The Vistani fortune teller. But yeah, so you're gonna head over to the inn.
Yeah.
All right. The inn is called the Full Moon Inn. There's a fence surrounding the inn, which is a large two-story building. It's got an attached stable. Uh, Through the fence, there's a good number of people there. There's a large common room. When you step inside, it features a bar and about a dozen tables. There are people eating and drinking there. You get some strange looks from most of the people. There's a little bit of like muttering under their breath as they see Luke, who has followed you in. Behind the bar, he looks up and he's just like, yeah, welcome to the Full Moon Inn. How can I? You need drinks? You need food?
Yes. Food and possibly rooms. Have you by chance seen John?
Jean? No, I've not
Yes.
seen Jean in a couple of days. You're talking Luke's brother, Jean. Tarascon. Yeah, no, I've not seen him. Yes. What? A couple of days. He says to a woman who's behind the bar, like pouring drinks, and she says, "Yeah, a couple of days." Yeah, a couple of days. But please, please, have a seat. take a table. Any friend of Luke's is a friend of ours. Go ahead.
She'll take a seat and kind of look around. Zuga?
Hmm. Yeah.
She'll order some food for
Okay.
Zuga.
Yeah, the barmaid who brings your food out, she's like, oh, look at you. You folks must not be from around here. You sure look interesting. I'm Katha. Nice to meet you.
Stormy.
Stormy.
Stormy, and this is Zuga.
Are you guys staying here at the inn?
Yes, probably.
All right, well, that's cool. I would
Oh man, she sounds like a millennial.
just make sure you keep your door locked. Everybody's been keeping their doors locked lately when they're sleeping. So make sure you keep your door locked, okay?
Um, I will, but why?
Oh, I forget you're new here. I should have. Things have just been real bad lately. I mean, like for instance, like over a week ago, Francois, he's a local fellow. He was right here in the common room, and he just fell dead right here. I mean,
Oh,
I was taking a break in the kitchen at the time. I was like resting my poor weary feet near the back door, and then people started hollering, and I got a whiff of some awful odor blowing in from outside, kind of like rotten meat. We don't serve rotten meat here, by the way. All of our food is fresh, but
just foul.
I mean, luckily I've got a strong stomach. In fact, I was about to go outside. I was about to go outside to find out what all the odor was about when the screams began. And by the time I came back in, I saw Francois being carted off to be buried. And I had forgotten all about that awful odor until just a few days ago when old Fiora mentioned that she had smelled it too.
Hmm. Well, we did
Crazy, right?
smell. Yes, yes, it is. Um, we smelled some foul odors in the swamp as well a couple
Oh,
nights ago.
oh yeah, that swamp is just, it's terrible.
Oh, I thought we were gonna be lost in there forever.
Well, let me get your food. I'll be right back. And yeah, she goes off and she comes back a short while later with some food. What'd you guys like to do?
Mm. Looking around at the people, like, how does the mood feel? Like, do I get any weird vibe?
Well, you definitely are getting some stranger looks than Hank was giving you. Not bad looks, but just like oh, I've never seen a person that short before, and oh, look at that fellow.
The short part is what they linger on.
I that guy looks like a guy I know. I mean, not the skin or the teeth, but you know my cousin Henri. He was kicked in the head by a mule, and
I think that might be what happened to him, except for I think it was a much bigger animal.
oh, I'm sorry. I do not mean to stare and talk so loudly about your friend. My apologies.
It's the accent, it makes you loud.
You have to talk loud when you talk with this accent, huh? Please, I don't mean to offend. But the next round of drinks are on me.
You know, I've been spending some time trying to figure out which domain of Ravenloft second edition this, and the French accent just kind of sealed it for me. Thank. Merci. Actually, it still could be like two or three of them.
uh, from Stormy eats, she'll get her violin and start playing.
Oh, she plays the violin. Oh.
No, God. See if it's well. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, people. What sort of song are you playing? What sort of tune?
I don't know, something upbeat so that people can either dance or clap along or whatever they want to do.
Yeah, they do both of those things. Some people clap, some people dance, some people are doing both. Some people are sitting there just enjoying it. There's a couple of older people. They're just like those kids in their rock and roll. Ah, these young kids coming with their violins, playing all the time. Look, now people are clapping. Great. And what's with the young kids playing the violin, hey? But yeah, no, they definitely enjoy it. Like some people actually even toss some coins your way.
Oh, thank you. How much coin?
Let's see. Let's see how much coin you got for playing your violin. You did play pretty good. Let's say you got yourself. Oh man, like 36 coppers.
Wait.
And one silver piece. And one gold
Is that
piece.
Is that enough to pay for our food?
Yeah, easily. You play very well. Are you a bard?
No, but I would like to be.
No. I'd say you have a good start going. See, with your.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you have scales?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Oh, you need the cream. It's from spending too much time in the swamp. That's why your friend's skin is green. He could probably use some cream too.
No, I've had these for about a year now.
Oh, you definitely want to get the cream before it sinks in.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to.
You can
I
get
don't
cream
think
at the
they're going
general
to
store.
spread. I think he's naturally green.
Oh, naturally green, huh?
Yes. And my scales are natural too, I think.
No. I hope I did not offend.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's like people say to me, they're like, "Oh, Henri, open mouth insert foot." So what brings you to our little town?
we found Luke in the swamp. We found him in a house with stilts and a lot of lanterns. And so we stayed the night there, and we mentioned something about coming to town because we saw that the chimneys from the chimneys. uh, we saw the smoke from the chimneys, and so we decided to come. And all of a sudden, Luke started following us.
Oh, so Luke was in the swamp.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
that makes a sense. Because Shaman Brucian, he has gone into the swamp more frequently since since Marcel died. He's been going to the swamp frequently, and we were like, why is he going into the swamp so often? And maybe he's been going to take care of Luke. I guess maybe I don't know. Some people were like, well, no, it's like he worships the Lord of the Dead, the Shaman Brucian. He's probably going to do that. And then some of us are like, you're just being stupid. Just because we've been having, our troubles lately doesn't mean that Shaman Brucian is worshiping the Lord of the Dead. This is crazy. It's crazy talk. He's a good man.
Luke and Shack, not swamp.
Oh, in the shack in the swamp.
It had a surprisingly oh wow.
You will not sagely.
I say.
Yes, quite. In the swamp, my good man.
Oh, you speak eloquently, sir.
It'll go away in about 5 seconds.
Psst, Edie, ask him about the lantern.
Do you know anything about in the shack there was a lot of lanterns? Superstition about that or
There,
something?
I mean, maybe so he could see.
It
He
was
look,
a
he
it
looks
was an
Luke over.
abundance.
He looks Luke over and he sees the book and he's like, oh, you need light to read.
Yes, but this was like a lot of lanterns.
Yeah. Luke, you have a lot of lanterns. Luke just ignores him and just.
I'm gonna reach over and grab his head and weaken at Bernie's.
He lets you do that. As long as you're not trying to hurt him or anything.
This is so weird.
Anyway, welcome to Marais de Tarascan. I need to get back to my friend over there. If there's anything else I could possibly help you with, I'm sorry. I have no good answer about the lanterns, but
Well, thank you. It was lovely chatting with you.
yeah, the drinks that he ordered because he felt bad, they come as well. Kath brings them over. Katha. Katha brings over the drinks that he had ordered for you guys since he felt bad about insulting you about needing cream.
What time of the day is it?
It didn't take too long to get through the swamp here. I'd say it's probably late morning.
Okay. Well, Suga, do you think we should go see John? Now? We can stop by, pop in for a chat.
I mean, out of character, I think we should find out more about the shaman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, it's a shaman. Oh.
I feel very attacked by this accent. It's so there. Um, ask the guy. Um, do you know anybody who could tell me more about the shaman, or if he's here or not?
um, yeah, I don't see. If you want to go see the shaman, I mean, he's probably at the church.
All
If
right.
you go out, if you go outside, you can see it. It's right in front of the cemetery.
Okay. Well, we will leave and go towards the church.
Sure.
I'll finish my drink really quickly and then fine.
Okay. Yeah. So Luke follows you guys to the church, which once again is right there. You know, I gotta say, let me just make a comment on this adventure, this module here. You know, it doesn't really say like how these people react to the fact that like Luke is following you guys around.
It's not normal.
You know, I read through this a few times, and sometimes you don't notice these things like this until you're actually playing it. And I'm just like, I looked and I was just like, is there anything about like people saying, "Hey, there's Luke"? Nobody is like, "Hey, there's Luke." So I just got to make up all the "Hey, there's Luke" things. It's weird. Except for the priest. So you guys go to the church. The priest is outside. He's looking up at the sky as he's cleaning some of the. He's like cleaning dirt off of a couple of like lanterns that are outside the church door. You know.
Uh, Good morning.
He turns around and looks at you, and his eyes go wide and his mouth opens, and he's just like, Luke. And he comes over and he's just like, "Are you all right, Luke?" And Luke looks at him. The first time you've seen him directly look at anybody, and he says, "In Ajira fortunes, his make will reverse, dooming the dreaded with lives to all curse." Luke, I don't know what that means. His voice is low. I don't know what that means, Luke. Um, uh, I'm sorry. Who are you with
I'm Stormy, and this is my friend Zuga.
Zunga.
um? Where did you where did you find the? Where did you find Luke?
He was in a shack in the swamp. It had a lot of lanterns.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, Luke is one of our lost ones from the village. You know, I took pity on him, so I bring him food and water to the shack. Um, um, he seems so reluctant to leave. I don't know why he's. I don't know how you persuaded him to leave.
We mentioned something about coming to town. And
Hmm. Well, Well, I'm glad to see you're out and about, Luke. Thank you for taking care of him, making sure he didn't get hurt in the swamp when he followed you. Hmm. I'm sorry. I am Shaman Brucian. I'm the village priest. I'm here at the church.
Um, uh, sorry, I'm reading what she had said.
Hmm.
Um, do you know anything about me? Uh, you in the swamp?
About what in the swamp?
The Vistani?
Um, no, I know sometimes the Vistani. Yes, they do travel through the swamp. They know ways not some of us don't know, except for maybe some of our better trackers and hunters. Um, no, nothing specific. Did you have problem with some Vistani in the swamp?
No, they were very friendly.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's good. It's good to meet friendly Vistani. Some say it's good luck. So, what brings you to this area? I mean, you're definitely not from around here.
Um, well, we were concerned about Luke. There were the lanterns, and he's not very responsive. He's saying a lot of weird things, and in fact, a lot of people are saying weird things to us. Um,
He is a strange boy. I don't know if you're saying anything and I can't hear you, or you're just still like,
I'm not.
okay,
I don't
yeah.
have. I don't. I told you I'm not good. I'm not good at mysteries and stuff.
I tell you, for someone so small, you seem not so good at mysteries.
I'm not so good at what.
Mysteries.
I'm not.
Um, we do have a funeral to perform here today. That's why I'm outside cleaning the of the church, soot off the lanterns and such. But
Who passed?
oh oh, I just had his name right here. Oh, Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Jeremiah Degree.
Hmm.
He yeah, he died last night. So
Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry.
it's yeah, well, it's these things have been happening lately. There's been a lot of death in the village lately.
People aren't getting sick, are they?
No, no, quite the fact, quite the opposite. The I mean, these villagers, they appear strong and healthy just even a moment before they pass, and then just die. is terrible. The first one was is about 3 weeks ago. A field worker named Hogarth. Um, yeah, it's terrible.
A field worker named what?
Hogarth.
Okay. Hmm.
I mean, people called him Hogarth the Horrible, but he was really a nice guy, and he was very healthy. Most of the people who have recently died, I mean, yeah, like I say, they are very healthy, and then they just died. Uh, anyway, as I said, I need to prepare for the funeral.
Right.
Luke, would you like to come inside? And Luke just stands there.
Ooh, got a train coming.
Luke, there's a train coming. Get out of the way. Don't just stand there, Luke. For the love of God, man.
2 funerals.
Yeah, I tell you, it's odd. It's like I wish I had noticed that earlier. That nobody really seems to pay attention to Luke, with the exception of the priest. That's weird. That's weird to me, man.
So the only things I know to do
Mm-hmm.
are maybe go see this guy Jean or
Right.
go to the funeral
Sure.
or both.
Yeah, you could probably do both.
I mean, unless John has some kind of weird thing where he's like, "No, I do not visit with people who attend funerals.
Ah,
Well,
so
go
you
away, or I will talk to you a second time."
so you like to sit around while they stuff people in boxes and holes in the ground, eh? Well, I don't have a timer for you.
Oh, but sir, that's my favorite pastime.
Yeah, go to another funeral, Frenchie.
I'm not French. I'm a halfling.
I know your type. Oh, I'm so short. Look at me, shirty burshy burshy. Yeah, so Luke seems to have no interest in following the shaman. He does still seem to be interested in following you two.
Hmm. That is like the one thing I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I say we go full on weekend with Bernie's with him.
Oh, I want him out of here.
It is so funny that you mentioned that, and I can't say why at the moment.
Are we supposed to?
Oh.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It has nothing to do with this adventure whatsoever.
Uh, would you like to roll deception?
My deception is a 2. It really has nothing to do with this adventure. Honestly. Like 100%. On my word as a DM.
Oh no.
It may have something to do with a later adventure. Maybe like the other one shot. But that's for later. So yeah, so I mean, did you guys want to stick around for the funeral or?
Yeah, we'll stick around for the funeral.
Sure.
Why not?
So, as you guys are waiting to stick around for the funeral, Lucas is standing there. Occasionally, he says some of the things that he's recently said before, the same phrases. People start closing up shops, like you can see, like nearby, like the shops near the church, and folks are starting to come to the church.
Son of a gun.
Outside the church, there is a small wagon pulls up, and some folks bring a coffin out of the church. And your guys' passive perception's kind of low, so I'm just going to go ahead and say you hear it anyway. You hear something kind of like knocking from like inside of the coffin. You also notice that the coffin seems to be chained shut. They put the coffin onto the wagon, and they start like taking it up the hill. All of the people who have gathered are following as the coffin is brought to up the hill through the gate to the cemetery. There's a little cemetery here. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's just go ahead and say, like, they bring it over here to this mausoleum here. There seem to be a whole bunch of, mausoleums. It looks like, most of the dead here are buried above ground, probably because it's like such a swampy area. A lot of the people are like looking at you kind of suspiciously, but nobody's like really saying anything. It's like, some of the people who you may have seen before aren't looking at you suspiciously, but some of the new strangers that you're just seeing for the first time are. But
They're new and
eventually,
they're going.
yeah, exactly. But then they return their attention to the shaman Busian, who is now standing over this coffin, which is wrapped in these heavy chains. And his booming voice like echoes throughout the churchyard. He's just like, "Friends and family." That's not French. "Friends and family, we mourn the untimely death of Jeremiah Degree. Let us take comfort in the fact that he goes to a better place, and let us pray that his eternal rest is peaceful and without incident. Jeremiah, you will be missed, but you will not be welcome here again. The part is plain, and go into the next world with our blessing." And he continues on like saying, stuff. But there's like a muffled bang from inside the coffin, kind of like gives him like a little bit of a pause. And a lot of the villagers flinch, but quickly regain their composure.
Is the talking to in the inn? Is he nearby?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not too far.
Stormy will go over to him. It doesn't sound like he's dead.
Oh, no. He believe me, he's dead.
Then what's knocking in there?
The coffin's like kind of like rocking back and forth, but like Jean Busian and the rest of the crowd, the coffin's kind of like rocking back and forth where it is, and he's just like, no, he's a quite the dead.
There's knocking though, and
Oh, it's It's the weather. It does strange things to the wood. You ever hear of a house settling? It's kind of like a coffin. The coffins is settling. He seems like really. He seems like really nervous. Like he doesn't. He really does not want to be talking about this at the moment.
What? I don't want to pry, but are you sure? Because that could be somebody just fine in there, and you could be burying the person alive. And why is it chained up?
It's. So if it becomes logged with water, if the coffin becomes waterlogged, it does not burst open. It's sometimes the
Why
wood
would
it
it matter?
warps. It's to keep the wood from warping.
Why would it matter if it was if it burst open?
Well, that's just a gross, isn't it?
Yes, but aren't bodies supposed to, decompose and go back to the ground and everything?
No, no,
You know,
no. They
circle.
go. No, no. They go in the vault. Look. He points, and the uh,
But
the priest he waves his holy symbol over the coffin and says, "Jeremiah, be still." And attendants are now sliding the coffin into the vault, and it looks like they're just like quickly trying to seal it up.
I don't know about you, but that looks suspicious.
No, no, it's quite the normal.
Mm.
Now go away before I taunt you a second time.
Yeah, but you're not taunting me. You're being quite polite.
He doesn't say that part.
Huh. Tezuka, you heard knocking, or am I going crazy?
I'm assuming that I did hear.
Oh yeah, everybody heard it. Everybody just seemed to have ignored it, with the exception of the priest, and who told him to be still, like right before, after he waved his holy symbol before they shoved him in a vault, and you and Stormy.
So did when the priest told him to be still, did he be still?
Yep.
Cool.
So they seal the vault, and the crowd starts to disperse, like heading back to the village. Except for one man who approaches you. He's like, I should have practiced more different French accents so that they were all different. Hello, I am, I am the local constable. Was what the you are strangers here?
Yes.
What brings you to our little town? Our town, though.
Oh, we were out in the swamp and we came for, you know, food and lodging, and we also met Luke out in the swamp in a shack, and we wanted to come and see if somebody could help him. He seems a bit out of it.
To be honest, I think maybe perhaps he is better in the shack in the swamp. I know the shaman has been taking care of him. It's a lot safer than being here in this village, I must say.
Why is it unsafe?
There's a mysterious ailment, which is he kind of like looks down. He looks like a little sad at the moment. He's like, it's been a terrible ailment is killing its victims, and it's people have been murdered, and others have gone missing. It's not a good time here in Mareta Tarascon. My own son, 2 weeks ago, he fell prey to this mysterious ailment himself. He's now gone, and so I must wonder. It's like so close to all of these mysterious deaths, outright murders, and missing people. Two strangers come to town, so I'm just curious as to maybe there's a
Oh,
connection.
the only thing we've fought so far was an alligator
Hmm.
a few days ago.
Interesting. Are you staying here in the village?
Yes, at the inn.
Hmm. So perhaps if I have any questions for you after I can come there to speak to you. Yes.
Yes, yes, you could.
All right. Well, perhaps I will see you at the inn later then. And he just gives you another suspicious glance and he starts walking away. Then he turns and he points at you and he says, just one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I know you killed him.
do you
And he's gonna do the Columbo.
do you like licorice?
I'm not really a fan.
No. Hmm. Because I have some extra licorice here if you're interested.
Zuga, do you want licorice?
What is licorice?
It's a candy, I think. Some people also put it in tea.
It's a very nice.
If you say so.
Is it black or red?
It is red. They have red licorice.
Oh, I like red licorice.
I will. Yeah, Zuga will try some.
He he takes out a small bag of red licorice and he offers you each a piece. He's watching you very closely.
Stormy will take one. She'll be polite.
Okay.
Is it good?
It is, yeah. Yeah, if you're eating the licorice, yeah. It's pretty good. You know, if you like licorice, I mean, it's up to you whether or not you think it's good. But if you'd like it to be good, it's definitely good. It's definitely quality licorice.
Grade A licorice.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good day. And he just kind
You
of
as well.
saunters off. I got them to eat my licorice.
Oh my god.
So what would you guys like to do next? Any ideas?
They chew thoughtfully on my liquor.
Maybe we should go back to the inn.
I mean, not that Suga would think of this, but we should probably still go talk to,
Jonathan, John.
yeah.
Jean.
Yeah, let's go talk.
Okay, yeah, you guys could definitely go talk to Jean. Or try to talk to Jean anyway. But you guys are here at the cemetery at the moment. If you can find him.
Hmm.
Someone did say that he has a townhouse here in the town.
Well, Stormy would go up to somebody and ask which house is his townhouse.
Sure. Yeah, there's someone lighting up a pipe just outside the cemetery gates.
Excuse me, could you please point me in the direction of John's townhouse?
Yeah, all life is busy. But yes, I can show you the way to the townhouse.
Oh,
He's
are you okay? I need a hug.
no hugs are for a little children. But his townhouse, you're talking Jean Tarascon, eh?
Yes.
Yes. His townhouse is it is over there. And she pointed to this building here.
I will lead Zuga in that direction.
Luke follows.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we should chain him up somewhere.
Oh, poor Luke.
It's freaking me out. A normal coming with us. You see where he's talkative and nice. And just boy howdy, am I happy to be with these adventures? Maybe it wouldn't be so freaking spooky.
The overshining
Shambling
sky.
around.
The overshining sky, the light of the dead, shot to all turning pale and gutter red.
Oh, everything that comes out of your mouth is ominous.
So, it's a 2-story house. It's a little bit nicer than most of the other houses here. Not that the other houses here are necessarily crappy, but it looks like this family's got some sort of money going on. And Luke stops about 30 feet away from the house. Like he does not want to go any further.
What's wrong, boy?
He just...
Something bad happened?
No further do I go and tell, hey, Timmy fell down the well. He doesn't say that.
That's awfully specific.
He should have. The townhouse appears to be all shut up. It's like the door is closed. Most of the doors are closed. But there are heavy curtains covering all of the windows. And Yeah, but like you can definitely go up to the house and
I will go up and I will knock on the door.
sure.
Mr. John?
There is no answer at the door.
Oh, come knock on the door. You're louder than I am.
I will go knock on the door.
Yeah. You knock on the door. There is no answer. You definitely knocked a lot louder than Stormy did.
Hmm. Is there like a doorbell? Like a lever or like a pole thing or something? I don't know. A little chain?
There is not.
Uh, maybe he's out running errands. Maybe we could just, sit and wait. Luke is still with us?
He's standing about like 20 feet away from the walk up to the house.
I'll keep knocking.
Okay.
Maybe it'll annoy him so much that he answers.
Yeah, there is still no answer. How long do you plan on knocking for? I imagine you could knock quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, until someone opens the door, tells me to.
Okay. All right, so you're just knocking. Um, and you're knocking. 5 minutes.
Maybe there's a back door.
10
Maybe
minutes.
they're around back or something. Uh, she'll lead Zuka. Back. See if there's any the guys in the back.
um, all of the windows have the heavy curtains in the back of the house as well. Um, there is a back door.
I'll knock.
There is no answer.
Hello. I don't want to trespass and break and enter. I mean, I don't think I could break it, but he could. Um. Hmm. Stormy will go back to Luke. Uh, why don't you want to come closer to this house?
He just stands there.
Hello. Hmm. She'll try to push him closer or pull him closer.
He like kind of like plants his feet and his face twists a little.
Okay. Well, maybe there. Maybe this is a sign or something from him that says that this is not a good idea. Did did John do something to you?
He does not respond. But I think we are going to have to call it in a minute here. But we're definitely going to continue this. Maybe not like on a Saturday if we got the regular game going, but I think we're going to definitely find another night that we're all available to continue this.
I mean, I don't know how your Tuesday night's looking now that like almost everybody left.
There is currently nothing happening on Tuesday, but I am going to be starting something soon. But I'm sure we can find a night because I think Edie, you just said you have something going on. You were about to say.
Yeah, I have a game on Tuesdays.
A game on Tuesdays, huh?
Oh God. I don't know what it is about that accent, but it like unsettles me.
I will say, all right, so, like I was saying to Cleve when we were on break, um, you can read through this stuff like a few times and like not pick up on like small issues until you actually play through it. Like the fact that the only person who really pays attention to Luke in any of the written stuff here is the priest. I don't know how they explain that. It's like everybody knows Luke, so everybody just ignores him. That's kind of fucked up. Um, I'll say that you guys like. It seems like you're not doing well, maybe to you, but you are. I mean, you're getting some clues, and I think like a Scooby Doo mystery. Like I said, I want to run this Scooby Doo
Oh, I
style
feel like
someday. Yeah,
like,
no. It's like you guys. I definitely feel like you guys are picking up on the right sorts of things that like as you get some more information, they'll start coming together. Like I said, like a Scooby Doo mystery. I really want to play the Scooby Doo style. I think this would be a great Scooby Doo adventure. You guys ride into the creepy town like in the Mystery Machine.
it's just a horse-drawn carriage that's got weird paint.
But I mean, now that I've definitely like pinpointed some issues with like how this is written and stuff, I think like the next time we pick it up, I'll probably have made like some better notes that that'll help explain some of the weird things, like for instance why most of the people here are ignoring Luke.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it doesn't say. I'm sure in the mods. Maybe Luke was kind of a dick.
It doesn't say that, but maybe that's it. I mean, it's just. I mean, this. He's got the same last name as part of the town name. His family owns this large plantation. I mean, this is something the villagers have told you. And the one brother's dead, the other brother has taken it over. So it's like everybody in this town obviously knows who Luke is. He is the younger brother of these three brothers who own the plantation. Why doesn't it say like everywhere you go, if Luke is following you, that people aren't like, Luke, what are you doing here? I have not seen you in 3 weeks. You smell like swamp. What are you doing with Luke, you weirdos?
Yeah, we are quite a weird pair.
I gotta say, there is a dwarf in town. So, I'd say
Zuga.
I would say they've probably seen like half orcs and halflings before, just maybe not a lot. I'd say it's definitely a thing. But yeah, this is definitely strange. All right, so I'm gonna spoil not this, but I'm gonna spoil the Weekend at Bernie's thing. There is a module, a one-shot module, called Weekend at Strahd's, where basically it's like Weekend at Bernie's but with Strahd. And yeah, at some point we're definitely going to do that.
It's gonna be great.
And like when I saw that, like, yeah, Cleve, you were like the first person I thought of. I was like, holy shit, he's gonna love this one.
Like, you actually have to pretend the dude's still alive and like go to the bank with him and stuff.
Yeah, like that, exactly.
Ah.
I mean, there's like there's like a mission involved, of course, but yeah, basically it's like you have, yeah, the Weekend at Bernie's.
I was hanging out with one of my friends, and she was running Curse of Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
And I would come over a couple hours before the game, and we would just kind of hang out, maybe watch a movie, listen to music. and or right or whatever, and it was one of those evenings when we were writing and she was preparing for the game, and she started flipping ahead in the book further than we were, and like it was like really quiet for a long time, and then she out of nowhere goes Jesus out of me, and I like look up, I'm like, what, and she goes, Strahd has 28 capes. What? like like right here, and she like leans the book over to me and she goes, don't look at anything besides the thing that I point to you. I'm like, okay. She's like, here it is, 28 capes in his closet. I'm like, okay, is it important? She's like, probably not. It makes me happy.
I am
He's
going
got
to. I'm going to write a one shot called The 28 Capes of Strahd.
I will tell her about that.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream. So, people who were checking us out, thank you very much. Next week, we should be back with regular Curse of Strahd with the whole group. But follow me on Twitter at DharmaBob, and I will let you know when we are going to pick this back up because I'm having fun with the French accents. And I think once we get a few more clues, things are definitely going to Scooby Doo. I might need to even like finish this off like playing it like a Scooby Doo kind of thing. I might need to get some Scooby Doo sound effects and do the occasional zoinks. I think that would be fun.
That could be fun.
Yes, but yeah, so definitely, next Saturday should be regular Strahd. I will let you know when we're gonna do Night of the Walking Dead Strahd again, and tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe I am doing the one with the Dungeons and the Dragons with KO and Pryler. So if you're fans of KO and Pryler, check that out. Any of you guys got anything you want to share, mention, plug?
Pet dogs.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of. I mean, the artist did the picture for Stormy is the If We're Lost on Tumblr.
What's the what is it?
If We're Lost. Give me a second. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Ugh. The If We're Lost. So like, if I can find my mouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I will, yeah, I will post that in the chat.
And that is just her first sketch of the character.
And it's so tumblr.com/if we're lost.
Yeah, and she's also on Instagram. Same name. Her stuff's really good.
Yeah, so if you liked it, because I like that picture, so yeah, so
She also did the picture for I don't know if you can see the icon on Roll20, but the one of Polly and everything else I've used.
oh, it'd probably help if I spelled Tumblr right, by which I mean like spelling it wrong. Let me repost that link. I was like, it looks wrong. And I'm like, no, that's how you spell Tumblr. But then I was like, oh, wait, but no. But okay, all right. So I'm going to stop the stream. You guys feel free to hang out for a minute. I'll be with you. And everybody else, yeah. So check us out next Saturday and tomorrow. Bye.